I think I have to say, welcome to the OC, bitch.
What were you going for there?
It's the quote. I took what Summer said. I think you didn't like it.
What quote? I don't understand.
I like Seth Cohen.
Oh, that's what you were going for?
I like the OC, bitch.
Yeah, that would have been better.
How about that?
That would have been better.
What you say?
I told you that it's time to start the show.
That you only meant well.
Yeah, the show's going to do
Of
well.
course you did. What you say?
I said let's go.
That it's all for the best.
Yeah, it's probably going to be like the best podcast.
What you say?
God, do I have to keep repeating myself?
Just what we need. You decided this.
Hold up, I
What
thought we
you
both
say?
decided to do this.
What did she say?
I said let's start the show.
Hey, everyone, and welcome to What You Say, an OC podcast. My name is Elise Daly,
And I'm Scott Daly.
and together
We're the Dailies. This is the podcast where each and every week we jump onto our private yachts for another fundraising event to discuss the hit 2000s teen drama, The OC. This week on the show, we are covering Season 1, Episode 10, The Perfect Couple.
Scott, I didn't know they made an episode about us.
They did.
They did. They made a whole episode about us.
It's weird that, 16 years ago and 12 years before we met, they made an episode of this teen show about you and me, 30-year-olds.
Scott, they knew.
It's quite remarkable.
They knew. Josh Schwartz. One more thing to add to his resume.
He's an oracle. He really is.
Yes, he is. And you know what? He probably could predict those good things that happened in our week, Scott, because we're going to, before we talk about this episode, we're going to talk about everyone's favorite section, especially Josh Schwartz's favorite section. Josh's favorite section. Josh Schwartz loves Rosies and Thornies.
Every rose has its thorn,
Has its thorn.
just like every night has its dawn.
Dawn, dawn, dawn.
Every cowboy sings a sad, sad song. Every rose has its thorn. Yeah. Jesus. Yes, this is the part of the
I paused
show.
for you.
I appreciate that.
I paused for you because I knew that you were going to say insert music here.
Yeah, you paused for
Elise
me.
messed up.
You paused for me, but that you interrupted me when I was doing the next part of the show.
I know. I just wanted everyone to know, though, that I did it right. So I had to say it.
I mean, they can tell when there's a smooth edit between the things.
Can
When there's
they?
a smooth edit,
Can they?
I think so.
Okay.
This is
think
the
we're
part
giving them
of
too
the
much
show
credit.
where Elise and I look back on the last week and talk about the good and the bad. We call it the Rosies and the Thornies. And we always start with the bad and we always start with the Thornies.
Yeah.
So, Elise, what is your thorn for this week?
My thorn was the storm, Scott.
Are you going to elaborate on that? Or are you just
Well, so last night there's this big storm that rolled through Dallas. And so one thing you have to know about me is I do not like severe thunderstorms. They make me very nervous. So one thing that actually helps calm my nerves is when I can look at the news and I can watch and I see the radar so that I can tell, it's okay that I'm getting all these notifications and all this stuff is scrolling around the screen because I'm nowhere near the tornado or nowhere near the hail damage. I just like to know what's going on. It helps me feel a lot better.
It does.
And yesterday that did not happen. Our TV wasn't working and hooking up correctly. I found where to watch the link on my phone, but my phone wasn't working, which made me more anxious. And then the fact that I heard the sirens, and then last time that I checked on the radar, whatever it was, it said that if you're in Richardson, there's a tornado spotted. You need to seek shelter. Very close to where we were.
Uh-huh.
And it was very frightening. And then after all of that passed and I got to sleep, here rolls in another storm at 1:30, louder than the one before, to wake me up.
Mm-hmm.
It's just rough.
We got very lucky. This is your thorn because you don't like it, but we did have to hide in the bathroom for 20 minutes. The storm rolled by. A lot of people got very unlucky. At the local bookstore we go to a lot got pretty badly hit, but we're okay. and I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't have any damage.
But yeah, it's always
None
scary
of the
when the sirens
branches
go off.
looked bad.
It is. I mean, it's October. Tornadoes don't happen in October. Very rarely. I think the news said today that the last one was 1996, the last
Yes.
October tornado.
There have been 11 tornadoes on record in Texas in the month of October.
in recorded
in history, not
tornado
just this month.
history. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a very unusual time. It's almost as if the climate is shifting or something
No,
like
climate
that.
shift is, or climate
I
change
don't
isn't
know.
real, Scott.
Of course not. Of
Cars
course.
are better than horse and buggies. And
What does that have to do with what?
remember I told you that one thing that guy said?
What?
My training, and I brought up climate change to him.
Oh yeah, I remember this. You got very mad at that man.
Oh, I was so mad.
All right.
So mad.
My
So, yeah, Scott, what's your thorn?
my thorn is a good old thing I like to call film Twitter.
You know, you seem to be mad at film Twitter quite often.
I don't like film Twitter. And so here's what happened. So over the past few weeks, there's been this recent trend of asking old auteur directors what they think about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It started with Martin Scorsese, and then over the weekend, Francis Ford Coppola weighed in on how they don't consider the MCU to be cinema. And here's the thing. I don't care. I like Scorsese movies. I like Godfather and Apocalypse Now. I don't care what these people have to say about blockbuster movies in 2019. I really don't.
Okay.
Like, I enjoy the MCU. I like the movies. I think they're fun. Defining what calls them cinema or not, I don't care. And it's just the internet, specifically film Twitter, is just like up. Either people are like up in rage defending the Marvel movies against these people and be like, Scorsese and Coppola movies aren't even that good anyway, which is a stupid argument. Yes, they are. And then there's other people that are just making fun of the people that are up in arms. And I'm just like, guys, we got so many bigger things to worry about. And why don't we talk about there's so many great movies out there right now. Why don't we focus on the freaking wonderful movies? Parasite is the best movie I've seen all year. It's started to come limited. It's going to be going wide soon. And nobody's talking about it because we're bitching about what Martin Scorsese thinks about Iron Man.
You know,
I don't care. I don't care.
Who is publicizing Parasite?
What? Who?
Draft House, because they got their themed menu for that movie.
Yeah. I think it's.
They want it to
is it
be.
a neon movie? I think it's a neon. I think it's a neon movie, which is.
Well,
their
that would make sense
production
then. Why they're making a themed menu
Yeah.
for
So
that?
I mean, basically, my point here is.
Yes,
it's
make your
just-
point.
I'm not going to talk about this on the Doofcast. I thought about bringing Matt in, having like a long 20-minute conversation about this.
No.
I was just like, I don't care. Like, those guys made some great movies, and they don't like blockbusters. Scorsese.
So who cares?
Scorsese
It's an opinion.
and Coppola didn't like blockbusters when they were in their 20s. Why would they suddenly like blockbuster filmmaking? Of course they don't like the MCU. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Film Twitter, shut up. End of rant.
You know what does matter, Scott?
What?
My Rosie.
Which is?
My Rosie was that this weekend was fantastic, Scott.
Tell me about your weekend.
You know, there's nothing special about it. I just got to stay at home. I just got to do all of this house cleaning that I needed to get done. All of these
We
just
did
to-do
the house
lists.
cleaning. Give me some
yes,
credit.
you did help. It's just, I felt like I hadn't had a weekend home in a long time. And honestly, I felt like I haven't had a weekend to where for the week I've gotten to do the meal prep like I like to do. And it's just this weekend, even though it wasn't even the 4-day weekend, it just felt
there's
more
my
relaxed.
there's my birthday weekend, which we were out of town. Last weekend we were out of town. The weekend in between that we were in town, but I felt like stuff was going on.
Yeah, it's been really busy.
So we haven't had a weekend where we just had nothing to do
in a long
time. So I understand why I enjoy those weeks.
It was wonderful.
I don't want it to be every weekend. I would get restless.
No, that's fine.
But yeah, it was very nice.
Much needed.
I caught up on a lot of work because this is the week of the month that is very busy for me. At Doof Media stuff, so I had a lot of book to read and show to watch and all this other stuff to do. So I caught up. I agree. It was a good weekend.
Nice.
It was a good weekend.
It was so good. What was good about your week, Scott?
The good thing about my week was the other thing we did this weekend.
What?
Which is watch a lot of TV.
Oh my gosh,
because we had
we had so
time to
much
watch
TV.
TV, and we finished a show we started with my sister last weekend. We finished a Netflix original. It's not really a Netflix original, but let's call it a Netflix original. Dairy Girls. This is the show that was recommended to me by Ruben and Elliot, the guys that do Media MD and Deep Impact.
My sister recommended it to me.
Well,
We both had recommendations.
They sung nothing but praises about it. They did a whole episode of their show about it, and were like, please, whatever you do, watch this show. And so we finally did, and it's great. It's half-hour episodes, 6 per season. There's only 2 seasons, so it's not a huge time commitment, which are big pluses in my book these days.
Okay, but Scott, what did you really think about it?
Elisa's trying to do an Irish accent.
What'd you think?
I don't know if that's that good, babe. I don't know.
Well, let's try yours and see which is better.
No, I'm not going to do it because I know mine's bad. But yeah, it's basically a show about a bunch of teen Irish girls during the Troubles.
The Dairy Girls.
In Derry, Ireland, Northern Ireland. And it's just, there's so many good things about it. The way the characters play off each other, the writing is very sharp and clever. It goes from being kind of absurdist and ridiculous to really heartfelt and important, like back and forth. I think it does a really good job of navigating that. Each one of the girls and James are
I love James.
So distinct and wonderful in their own ways.
He's one of my favorites.
I love the show. I think it's remarkable. It is the lowest amount of time commitment a television show will give you, basically, because it's basically a long movie each season. It's 3 hours, basically. Well, less, because the episodes are like 20 minutes, and there's only 6 of them. It's so good. Guys, Netflix, Dairy Girls, do it. I love the show. I was so happy with it. One of the best things I've watched all year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Better than Parasite.
One of the best television shows I've watched all year.
Now you're going back and you're changing your story.
Don't be a dick.
That's the only word you know how to say.
Elise, are we done with Roses and Thorns now?
Yes.
All right, let's move on to the main event. Let's move on to the episode. Episode 10, The Perfect Couple.
The Perfect Couple. Indeed. Scott, tell me about The Perfect Couple.
The Perfect Couple is the 10th episode of Season 1 of The Orange County. It was written by Alan Heinberg and directed by Michael Fresco.
Why did you call it The Orange County? It's called The OC.
Because I just want to change things up.
Ugh,
you know what OC
not the name
stands
of the show.
for, right?
Yes.
Orange County?
I know.
So The Orange County is the name of the show?
That's not what we call it, though.
Michael Fresco, the director, will go on to direct a total of 9 episodes of the show. So this is one of the guys that is involved with the show from the beginning and will be there for a while. This episode originally aired on November 12th, 2003. And Elise, hit me up with that brilliantly written Wikipedia summary.
Okay, Scott. So having chosen Ryan over Luke, Marissa wants to make plans for their first romantic date together, while Ryan does not know how to behave for his first date with Marissa. Seth takes matters into his own hands, involving getting to like Summer, but gets taken in with Anna, whom also develops feelings for him too. Meanwhile, Kirsten finds Caleb with another woman, that being Julie Cooper, while Sandy continues to resist temptation with his coworker, Rachel. Can I pause for a second?
What the fuck was that? That was terrible.
I want to change my rose.
What's your rose?
I forgot how much I loved Zoe Dutch in the Zombieland movie.
Oh.
And as I was reading this,
how did this remind you of Zoe? Oh, because the way she talks like an idiot?
felt like I could have done it in the way that she talked.
Okay.
And it was perfect.
Hidden bonus
and I loved
rose.
it.
We both saw Zombieland 2, which is a movie we both enjoyed.
Yes.
Obviously no Parasite, but it was a very fun, enjoyable experience. And Zoe Dutch is
Brilliant.
amazing.
It reminded me of the SNL character that was the porn star. The whole show. The best thing ever.
But here, let's focus on
Fantastic.
Let's focus on the summary.
So
what do you
Scott,
think of the
let's go
summary?
back.
Because it's terrible.
So it's not really good.
It's
She
awful.
did. Okay, let's go through it. So chose Ryan over Luke.
True.
Marissa wants to make plans for their first romantic date together. Semi-true. Ryan's the one that's going to be planning the date. They just want to have a date. While Ryan does not know how to behave for his first date with Marissa. True.
Yeah.
He's never been on a date before. We'll get into that later. Seth takes matters into his own hands, involving getting to like Summer.
I mean, not only is that badly composed, but
it's just wrong.
that just doesn't happen.
You know, he definitely likes Summer.
Yeah.
And is he taking things into his own hands?
He doesn't do anything actively towards trying to get Summer in this episode.
He doesn't.
But gets taken in with Anna, who,
What does that even mean?
whom also develops feeling for him too. Seth
does that even mean,
Seth does not have
Scott?
feelings for Anna, at least not at this point. The show makes that pretty clear. So
Yeah,
nonsense.
she leans in for the kiss and he just
Kirsten,
away.
spelled Kristen again, finds Caleb with another
No,
woman.
but I spell checked it. For some reason, this is how it's spelled on IMDb. It's spelled Kristen, but they pronounce it Kirsten.
No, it's spelled K-I-R. K-I-R-S-T-E-N. Yes.
Okay. Well, I said Kirsten, even though it said Kristen.
Kirsten finds Caleb with another woman, that being Julie Cooper.
Okay, so that's
mean,
true. She walked into the office and Julie was sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
But when you say,
It's not like she discovered them.
yeah, not.
It's bad. It's bad. And here's the thing, guys. We've decided we're going to eliminate our 30-second summaries. It was taking up time on the show. Our episodes were getting a little long, and I just don't think it was
And when
contributing
Scott's
that
got to
much.
cut things, he cuts my ideas.
That wasn't your idea. That
I'm
was
just
my
kidding.
idea.
I know.
I'm cutting my idea.
I know. So tell me, Scott, what are your overall thoughts of the show?
Can I just say, we're 10 episodes in now.
Yes.
I fucking love the show. I think the show is so fun. And
It's such a good show, I know.
think you can agree with that I'm enjoying the show because I
yes.
make so many noises when
Oh,
watching
yes.
the show.
He talks to the TV.
So I am in the movie theater. I am a very I do not make a
Yes.
noise. It is very important to
We're
me
not
in a
allowed.
movie theater.
Indeed.
But when I'm watching nonsense shows like this at home in my house,
There's dialogue.
I feel free to just react loudly to the show, and I have a lot of fun with it.
It's like watching football.
And I hope it is. And I hope that if you ever find it distracting or annoying, you would tell me.
Oh, I would. I would.
Which is why I feel completely fine doing it. I think the show is fun. I think, is it the best written thing I've ever seen? No. Is some of the conflict in this show forced and is like, come on, just work it out. Like you're being ridiculous. Yes, absolutely. But it's fun to watch. The moments with Sandy and that horrible excuse for a human
Rachel.
being, Rachel,
Yeah.
were some of like the most visceral reaction moments for me.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
This episode was really fun. I like the show. I'm glad we're doing this. I'm having a lot of fun watching this. So that's my overall impression.
So when I get really invested in shows like this and I
Sure.
talk to the TV a lot, it's because I feel like I am part of these people's lives and that I'm one with them. And so if I yell at them and I tell them what they shouldn't do, that they will listen to me.
Okay.
Because we are friends and we get each other on another level, even though they're trapped in a screen and I'm on my couch.
Okay.
So Scott,
Is that
do you feel that way too?
no?
Do you feel like you're friends with these people?
No.
You don't feel like they know you and you know them?
No. They don't know me. They're on the television screen. I do there are shows where I wish I was friends with the people. I wish high school Scott had been friends with high school Seth. Absolutely. I
Okay.
think that would have been great. But no.
Do you wish high school Scott was friends with high school Anna?
Sometimes. I don't like Anna in this episode. We'll talk about that.
Do you wish high school Anna was more like your wife Elise?
I think
Or
high
your
s-
wife Elise was
I think
more
my
like high
wife
school
Elise is
Anna?
already kind of like high school Anna.
To a
Especially
certain
the part where
extent.
she's mean for no reason to people.
Oh, she's got a reason.
Hmm.
And I don't know why you're going back and forth with your neck like a turtle like that. But you know what? You better
Can we
stop it.
Can we start talking about the episode, please? Because
Yeah,
we're 20
so-
minutes into the episode. and
Okay, so we
haven't-
open up and Ryan and Marissa are like getting super hot and heavy on Ryan's
Mm-hmm.
bed.
There's sexy music playing, and we open. It's a weird shot because it opens on like just
Their
torso up. It's just Marissa laying on her back, torso up, making noises, and I'm like, show. What are you doing?
Like,
Are
it's
you
pretty
doing what I
risque.
think you're doing? No, it's not. But they are just like going at it, making out pretty hardcore. And she decides she's got to leave now, even though he keeps pulling her back in the bed.
Yeah.
They're laying in
when
bed.
she says no, she means no,
That's-
Ryan.
Oh, come on. That's not. No. But
gotta state it.
Ryan is like, maybe this weekend we could spend the whole night together, which is very forward. Presumably they've been dating for
A day or two.
a day.
Yeah.
A day.
All it takes is one day, you know?
But he kind of pivots from that as he realizes how awkward it was and says, well, I mean, we could like do our first official date or something. Because they still never have been on a
What
date.
kind of girl is Marissa to just sleep with a guy after one date? I mean, really?
Well, they haven't slept together yet.
Well, that's what he wants, is just to have one date, and then she just cashes her card in for him.
She's already cashed that card in, baby.
Well, like him card.
Her him card?
Yeah.
Each person has a card for each other person on the planet. That's a lot of cards. You can cash in those cards everywhere.
Well, you've got a deck. I've got 52.
Oh, was that like a dick joke with deck? Like, that was very clever.
It wasn't a joke like that, but
I thought you were doing the Irish
was.
accent, the deck from Dairy Girls. Oh, I was about to compliment you so much.
I know.
It was an accidental good joke.
I'm not that smart. I mean, really.
The point is that in the middle of getting hot and heavy, who should barge in?
But Kirsten.
Kirsten.
That's never happened with Seth.
She barges in and it's the most awkward thing in the world. And then we break to opening credits.
California, here we come.
Ooh.
That was
mix.
really bad.
That mix.
Yeah. That was like a slowed down acoustic
I don't know
version
if I liked
that
it.
went flat at the end. It's a really bad version. There's no record deal coming from that. Yeah. Definitely not. So there's still a lot of Kirsten and Sandy tension because Sandy's getting home late. He's working on the case. Kirsten is getting home late too, but always before Sandy.
Is she working on the case? Why is Kirsten getting home late?
Because they're having to think about rebuttal stuff, I guess. I don't know.
I have a question.
She's not a lawyer.
She's not
I
a
know.
lawyer. Why isn't Caleb's legal team the ones coming up with the
I
strategy?
have a really good answer for you, Scott. You ready? It's one word.
What?
Television.
Okay, but if I'm allowed to question the writing on the show, I'm allowed to question it. The answer always can't be, because it's TV.
But Scott.
Huh?
Television.
Yeah, but I'm bringing attention to it because I think it's bad. I think it's a little absurd that it appears... Okay, well, let's move on. If you're just going to say the same thing over and over again, let's move on.
Well, the television does that. So I'm just answering how the television would. Yes. So they, just like Marissa and Ryan, set a date because they have to set a date in order to have a date. And
they're like these. I mean, they're very hot and heavy. They're like Marissa and Ryan. They're making out. They're talking about doing each other.
Yeah.
If you don't get here by 10 o'clock, I might just have to start myself. Dang, Kirsten. Dang.
She's been pretty lonely.
Mm-hmm.
And she can,
What?
I don't remember.
What?
I said
What?
that wrong.
What?
Anyways, I don't remember. So Seth and Ryan are going to school.
Mm-hmm.
And as they are walking, they start talking about sex, baby. Talking about not you and me, because they don't.
Yeah.
They don't do that together.
So Ryan is experienced in the bedroom. He's had many instances of sex with multiple women, and Seth is like basically hyperventilating at this idea.
He doesn't have any. Number one, he doesn't have any friends.
Yeah.
Number two, he doesn't have any friends that have any experiences other than solitary sailing on a boat.
He's sailing on that boat all by himself. Definitely not sailing for two. No. Yeah, but he basically says there were different girls. I'm gonna have to sit down. Is this weird? Like, I don't remember. Like, once upon a time, I was a 50. How old is he supposed to be? 16-year-old boy. Once upon a time, I was a 16-year-old boy. I remember wanting to have sex. I don't remember quite being like, if I one of the people I knew had sex, being like, oh my God, you've with multiple. Oh, I gotta sit. I can't take this. It just seems a little.
Well, the way that he
ridiculous.
was acting it wasn't like a, oh my gosh, man, like a whoa, like that's. It was like a shock. Like people did that.
People way that have sex.
No, it was just the way that he said it. I understand. He's like giving a very strange reaction.
He's being Seth Cohen, which is he's kind of being over the top and absurd. But yeah, I thought it was a little weird.
Yeah. It was a little weird.
Summer and Marissa are talking about it as well.
Of course.
Specifically talking about the date. And Summer, in a not good look, is like, what does Chino know about... She hasn't called him Chino in a while. She's like, what does Chino know about dates? They don't even have a P.F. Chang's there, which... Oh, no.
You know what?
They don't have a P.F. Chang's.
If they have a Dairy Queen, they've made it.
That's true. Do they have Dairy Queens in California?
I don't know. Sonic. Do they have
Do
Sonic?
they have Sonic in California?
In-N-Out.
There you go.
Okay.
That one they definitely have there.
Maybe not in Chino, but they definitely have In-N-Out in California.
But we cut back to Seth and Ryan, and they are... What?
In-N-Out's pretty good.
It's okay.
I like the pink lemonade. They got pretty good buns.
I have never in my life heard someone talk about In-N-Out food and start with the lemonade.
What do they usually start with?
The fries, the burgers, the things that you go to get there? I don't know.
Animal style fries. I've never had the animal style
Neither
fries.
have I. Remember that one time we went to the In-N-Out on Sunset and it was like the longest fucking line in my life? Never again. Never again.
That's pretty bad. Anyways, that's enough for In-N-Out. So we're going back to the conversation with Ryan and Seth. And Seth comes to this realization that when Ryan lost his virginity, he was playing Magic the Gathering, which I have no idea what that is. But Scott lost it on the couch next to me. He would not stop laughing. There are a couple of different laughs that Scott has. And one in particular, you know that he thinks something is funny. And this is the one where, man, he thought this was funny.
Well, because Ryan says, you still play Magic. And Seth's response is, well, yeah, but not as much. Which is just, it's a hilarious high school thing to be that, he's a nerd and he loves nerdy things, but he loves nerdy things in the high school way where he's kind of embarrassed of it. I played Magic the Gathering in middle school and a little bit in high school. It is a collectible card game. Do you know the Pokemon game? The Pokemon card game?
Yes.
It's basically that, except not Pokemon. It's like
spells.
Yeah, it's spells and creatures, and it's a card game where you build a deck and cast spells and fight each other.
They build a deck.
You build a deck. It's going to be the whole time. But so I mean, it's a funny joke. It's one of those. Princess Mononoke things where it's just like they just shoot a nerd reference in there to refresh our memory about who Seth Cohen is supposed
Scott's
to be.
a nerd.
Oops, and of course,
I said Scott. I meant Seth.
You're very proud of yourself on that.
It's just a reflex.
Yeah, I know.
I love you. I love that you're a nerd.
All right, so Sandy cancels his date with Kirsten for that night because of fucking Rachel.
Oh, she's horrible.
And while Kirsten goes to tell her dad that they can now have a working dinner because she doesn't have the date anymore, she finds... Is that going to be the bloop, bloop, bloop?
I decided she needed a noise.
I decided she needed a noise too. I was going to just let you pick the noise, and I did not think that was going to be it.
Why
Could
not?
you do it again for me? What is the Julie Cooper enters the scene noise? Like a crow?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So Julie Cooper is there, and Caleb has been her savior because he saved the Children's Hospital benefit by letting her host the event on his yacht because the other yacht they were going to host it on backed out.
And we'll talk about this later, but
Cool.
Scott, when I say I'm going to have a party on a boat, I generally mean we're going to get on the boat and then we're going to cruise around.
I would think maybe this shows my my essential non-richness that I think boat party. I think boat gonna move.
I think booze cruise.
I think boat gonna leave the dock and move around in the water because that's what a boat does.
Yes,
but
that's a good point.
Apparently to rich people, yacht parties are just parties in which you just get on the yacht and it stays next to the dock.
Here's my yacht.
And then you
please come aboard and look.
And then look at my good boat. That this boat will do such good boating.
It floats.
But I can't show you.
Hooray.
I can't show you how good of a boat my boat is because I refuse to leave the dock.
I'm on a boat with my flippy floppies.
Rich people, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
But Julie Cooper is here, and she's like, it's time. I stopped dwelling on my old problems and got back to focusing on the needs of others. And maybe I'm just a cynical piece of shit.
She never
piece of
cared
shit,
about others.
But my immediate reaction to this was like,
Julie.
sure,
Julie, what's up
Julie.
your sleeve, Julie?
Sure, Julie.
Julie, what magic trick are you trying to play, Julie?
Julie's trying to play the magic trick of reintroducing herself to society so she can be loved by everyone.
Yes. So Caleb starts talking to Kirsten as soon as Julie is gone. He is trying to help her think about Sandy's relationship with Rachel.
Yeah.
Because Caleb's really trying to tear apart his daughter and son-in-law.
I mean, we learn here that Kirsten's basically been going to her father and being like, he's working really late every night. He's with this woman, this young, attractive woman. And so Caleb is like seeing that and he's like, yeah, this is it. I can
Let's just chisel away.
He's basically doing the same thing Rachel's doing, but from the other side.
Ugh.
It's
Those
like
two people should just get together. Caleb and Rachel.
This
Match made in
marriage
heaven.
is actively being sabotaged by people on both sides of it, and I hate it. I hate it.
I'm sorry. It's a good relationship, Sandy and Kirsten. And if we don't have any strife, then
They're just
we
jealous.
can't prove
They're all
their
just
strength.
jealous of the flawless eyebrow relationship that is Sandy and his wonderful wife, Kirsten, who makes out with other people. But that's not besides the point.
I guess not.
At least next scene.
So Anna, Seth, and Ryan are eating lunch, discussing the date that Seth has now promised to Marissa and Summer. And I just want to focus in that where they're eating, there's no place in any high school that I've ever been to that has a balcony that looks that nice, overlooking the ocean, the breeze. They're eating sushi with chopsticks at high school. I mean, is this high school, Scott? It was not my high school. That's for sure.
You didn't eat sushi in high school, Elise? Psh. Yeah, me neither. It's fucking ridiculous.
I would not trust the cafeteria that got sushi.
If our cafeteria brought sushi, people would have died. Human beings would be dead because it would be disgusting bad sushi.
It would have been.
Yeah.
Bad fish.
You know what, Elise? It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous high school. But here's my problem.
Okay,
here's
tell
my
me your problem.
And just as I predicted last week, Anna kind of being a jerk here. So we start Anna is just basically anytime Seth brings up Summer, which he does a lot, and that's going to be a whole plot point later in the episode. But anytime Seth brings up Summer, Anna is just insulting her, just left, right, and center. And I don't think Summer has been particularly nice to Anna in the past, but I don't think she's been specifically mean to her in the ways that Anna is becoming specifically mean to Summer, challenging her intelligence, challenging everything about her. She's just being nasty. And
It's
I mean,
true.
there's obvious reason she likes Seth. Seth is completely ignorant to that. And so she's frustrated and taking it out on Summer, but it's just not a good look, Anna. I want to like you, Anna. I really want to like you. Your hair is so much better this week. Love it. But
Yeah.
disappointing.
It's okay, Scott. It's the game that women play. Women play the game.
Don't justify this as women being catty stuff. I hate that. That's just we shouldn't that's
It's not just women being catty. It's women being manipulative. It's different.
Well, okay,
Scott.
people, we can't just blanketly say it's okay because this is what this entire sex does.
Oh, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying that's what she's doing.
She is, yes. It's annoying. I don't like it, Anna. Not a good look.
Sorry, you're annoyed by it.
But
Maybe
she
you'll
does.
be redeemed
I mean, she
later.
has a good point where she's like, "Can we just not talk about Summer for 5 minutes?" Which is fair.
Yeah.
Seth talks about Summer a lot, and I loved her response. As much as I don't like what she's doing, I loved her response to what he says because he says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were friends and we were just sharing what's on our mind." And her response is, "Yeah, and I guess I'm doing it too."
And you're finally hearing me.
Yeah. And that's good. She's right. She's totally right.
Yeah. I mean, she stands up for herself.
She does, and that's good, and I like it. But you don't have to tear someone else down to stand up for yourself, is my point. Don't need to insult
no, that's
Summer
true.
to make yourself awesome.
That's true too. So then we follow Marissa. She gets home. And guess what, Scott?
What? Not that loud. Oh my God. It's Julie Cooper in her dad's house. What's going on?
Oh no. She says that she's sorry.
She's so sorry.
Scott.
She recognizes how selfish she was being.
She's trying to act like a normal human.
Yeah.
And I don't understand.
Everything I care about was falling apart, and I was blaming everybody but myself. I just want us to feel like a family again. And Marissa is touched. Jimmy has obviously been won over by this, and then she holds out her hand for Marissa to grab it. And to me, it's like Ursula holding out her hand, the contract to sign, or the one lady from Snow White holding out the poisoned apple, or in It's a Wonderful Life when Mr. Potter holds out his hand to be shooken and George Bailey shakes it and it's clammy and terrible. And I'm just like, don't do it. Don't do it. It's a trick. It's a trick.
Is it a trick, Scott?
Spoilers. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Maybe.
maybe.
Here's what we're going to end this episode with a defense of Julie Cooper. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Okay, that'll
Stay
be good.
tuned.
So Marissa has to cancel her date with Ryan because after this conversation with Julie, she decides that she wants to try and put in the effort in order to help her family become a family again. And so that's going to require her to put on her big girl panties, and she's just going to have to go to the yacht party. So that's what their date's going to have to be, is Ryan and Marissa at the yacht, because this is the time where the girl needs her boyfriend the most.
Boyfriend?
I'm sorry, Scott. We're having to have a DTR.
Their DTR. I mean, I'm cool with this. I support the DTR. The define the relationship talk needs to happen soon and quickly.
But they didn't really have the talk. It was more just
it's Marissa had the talk.
I'm gonna shoot my boyfriend.
Yeah, Marissa had the talk, and Ryan's like, what? Boyfriend? What?
I don't do the boyfriend thing. I just do the let's hang out with a girl, and she's my friend, and
But of course, Ryan is madly in love with Marissa Cooper, so anything that he didn't do before, he will do now, including being a boyfriend. But yeah, this is very funny. Like, they've been on 0 dates. They made out on a Ferris wheel. They made out heavily on his bed. And now they're boyfriend girlfriend.
maybe other places too.
The wild ride of high school.
Yeah. So with all that's going on, Seth is coming to terms with the fact that maybe he does talk about Summer a lot, but the only person who's going to shoot him straight is Ryan.
Can we talk about Adam Brody's performance in this scene?
Yes, we can.
So he goes. I it's hard to describe, but he goes to Ryan. First, the scene starts and he's basically talking to the maid, whose name I have unfortunately forgotten because she only appears when the show needs her. But he's talking to the maid about how, yeah, I talk about her a lot, whatever. And then Ryan shows up and he's like, so, you'll never guess what happened. Anna thinks I talk about Summer all the time. And he's got this like incredulous look on his face. Like, it's the most ridiculous face I've ever seen. I've not seen it that often by Seth Cohen, but it is hilarious because Ryan just gives his patented Ryan
The look.
And
smoldering.
No more needs to be said. No more needs to be said.
We all know what is in that look right there, Scott.
Yeah.
So then Ryan, he tells Seth that he is going to go to Julie's party because now he has his girlfriend. And so he's got to do things that boyfriends do. And Seth's really confused because he thought that he didn't do girlfriends.
I mean, I know you did them, but
yeah, he didn't realize that he did them in that way.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
but here's where Ryan does something that I don't know if I agree with. Ryan suggests, so basically Ryan says, you're going to come to this with me because I don't want to go to this alone because he's really nervous about Julie Cooper because he still doesn't know how he feels about this whole thing.
Gotta have your wingman.
And so he's going to say, Seth, you're going to come. And he's like, well, who am I going to take? I can't take Summer. Could I take Summer? Oh, sorry, I'm talking about Summer again, blah, blah, blah. And Ryan goes, well, maybe you should take Anna to the party.
Oh, sly guy Ryan.
So Ryan knows that Anna is into Seth.
Yeah, he does.
Seth has showed no interest to being into Anna. In fact, constantly throughout this episode, we are enforced, even after he says this, he's like, yeah, as a friend, definitely. I'm a little suspect to the idea that you're playing this knowing that you could be setting Anna up to get hurt. Because that's kind of what happens.
Yeah. But then again, Ryan doesn't do the whole girlfriend thing.
I guess he doesn't.
So he doesn't
know.
really understand women.
I think it's fair to say that is true, and it's fair to say that he's getting into this because throughout this episode, like when they show up later for the yacht party, he's like, "So Anna's looking pretty good, huh?" And Seth is like entirely like, "What? Huh? Yeah, sure, whatever." And what happens in this episode is that Seth does invite Anna, and Anna immediately gets the wrong idea. She's excited about it because Seth is inviting her to something.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't like it.
And so Seth has to go and ask Anna
Mm-hmm.
in order to be able to invite her. And this is where we get to look at some more 2000s fashion.
I love that hat.
The paperboy hat.
The paper
The
boy.
woman wearing the paperboy hat.
Paper. It looks good on her.
It does, Scott.
When I first saw it, I was a little doubtful. Like when you see her from a wide shot, and then up close, and I'm like, shit, she's pulling it off. She's pulling off the hat.
It's the hair length.
Yeah, you're right.
It really is.
You are right.
It's the hair length. It works.
Mm-hmm.
So then this is where Seth asks Anna
Yeah.
to the yacht party.
And she's so excited. And she says, "What about Summer?" And he goes, "I don't know if she's coming. I don't know. You won't hear anything about anything that happens between Summer and I promise on our friendship." And this is, as much as I was just critical of Ryan, this is where I think Anna is starting to maybe get the
Hopefully get
idea.
it.
Because you see in her, and the actress who plays her, and I'm blanking on her name, sorry, but
Samara
she does a good
Armstrong.
job of selling this moment where you see her a little crestfallen, right? Where he
Yeah.
specifies, "I promise on our friendship." He in this moment reinforces friendship, that we're going as friends. And you see her a little bit bummed about that, but she's going to push forward anyway because she likes him. And
she just wants to hang out with him.
Oh no, we're setting ourselves up for brokenheartedness and it's going to be really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really sad. And another relationship that might be really sad is Kirsten and Sandy.
Yeah.
Who are not sitting on the same side of the table for this conversation.
No, we are at, this is it had been hinted at and talked about multiple times throughout the earlier part of the episode. This is the settlement between the two sides. They're having settlement agreements. If they can reach a settlement here, the case will be over, the conflict will be done, the tension will go away, and everyone can move on with their lives.
It's not going to happen.
No.
And even if it was a really good settlement, Caleb still wouldn't have taken it because as long
he's
as the
loving
case is
this.
going on, there's the wedge in between Sandy and Kirsten, and he just wants to keep making it bigger and bigger.
Yeah, so Caleb rejects the settlement offer out of hand and then insinuates publicly that Sandy and Rachel are having an affair. He's basically like, "This is all you have to
At
offer
the
me?"
meeting.
Yeah, this is all you have to offer me? What have you
Scandalous,
been doing?
Caleb.
What have you been doing all those late nights? And ooh, does Sandy Cohen get pissed off?
And rightly so.
Oh, yeah. And he has another one of his patented pissed off Sandy Cohen speeches that throughout the show we've highlighted each one, and I love each of them. He says, "If you think I'm bought and paid for, you just wait till I get you on the stand. Don't let my silence here mislead you. I'm taking you down." Which is awesome. And also his father-in-law.
Is Sandy your favorite character?
Oh, 100%.
Because Sandy's like the
100%.
Captain America of this show.
100%.
And that's why I feel like he would be your favorite.
I think when I first watched the smattering of episodes I watched, it was obviously Seth Cohen, and I still love Seth Cohen. But
Sandy's your favorite.
As a 34-year-old man, guess who I identify more with? Sandy Cohen.
I can tell he's your fave.
He is.
Yeah. So Ryan and Marissa are hanging out at her place while they're trying to figure out what she's going to wear to the party because that's another boyfriend duty is.
You got to
You have
stand
to
there.
help make sure that whatever she picks out looks good on her and just agree.
Okay, yeah. By help make sure, agree with everything she says and stand there and hopefully have a book.
Yes.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden,
Not so loud.
sorry, that one
Oh my
was really
God.
loud. That one was, I was
I can
trying to
see
get
it
it in
on-
my ka.
I mean, it can be louder than that. Just be at your normal talking voice.
Ka.
I don't understand. Your volume control is fascinating to me.
Ka.
Okay, let's move on. Julie Cooper shows up.
Is that better?
Yes.
Ka.
I mean, it can have more energy. I just don't understand how you don't.
It's just the energy makes it loud. I don't get it.
Elise, let's talk about the show. That was better. You pulled it back from the mic.
Yeah. I'm really good at bird calls.
Julie Cooper shows up and she's
Yes.
so excited to see Marissa there. And then Marissa walks away, conveniently leaving Julie and Ryan alone, which is awkward because the last time they were alone in a room, Ryan screamed at her.
Yeah.
And it was really awkward. She apologizes, though. She says, this is our chance to start fresh. And she begs him. And he accepts her apology and wants to start over with her. She gives him a hug, and it's the most awkward hug in the entire world. But Marissa walks in just at the tail end of it and is so happy to see Ryan and her mom get along.
The question is, though, Scott.
What?
Is this manipulation?
Yes, 100 million
Is
percent.
it manipulation?
Well-
Did she hug just at the perfect time for when she thought Marissa was going to get back?
No.
So Marissa could see the hug?
Absolutely not. Here's the thing.
I wouldn't put it past Julie.
I
think she knows.
I'm saving my in defense of Julie Cooper towards the end. I'm saving it.
Her spider tingle senses. She knew that Marissa was coming back. And so she hugged him so that Marissa would see. So then Seth and Anna are walking around school and in comes Summer. And she is asking Seth for some help because she
skipped class to go to a sale. To go to a clothing sale.
A different type of sale. Not the type of sale that Seth is good at. Sailing.
No, I know what you mean, but you seem like you said that to correct just in case anyone got the wrong idea. As if I would say she skipped class to go for a sale and I meant sailing.
No, I knew. No one was confused.
I felt like you're
Scott,
a little confused.
No one was confused. Okay.
The point is that Anna just
Except
continues to
maybe
be a horrible piece of shit to Summer throughout this entire scene where she's like directly challenging her intelligence to her face rudely for no reason.
There's a reason.
Well, okay, for no good reason.
To her, it's a good reason, Scott.
This Anna defense is very interesting to me. I think
Well,
she's
you're going to defend Julie.
I think she's a jerk here. Summer is coming up to Seth to ask for help with tutoring, and that's all she's doing. She's just saying hi and then asking for help with tutoring, and Anna is nasty to her.
You know what, Summer? Maybe you should have gone to class and you wouldn't need help.
At least she has the wherewithal to ask for help when she needs it.
But to the guy that she knows is going to give it to her. So Summer's just manipulating Seth.
Okay, fine. Seth can't go. Seth can't help her with the history until Sunday, though, because on Saturday...
But why?
He's going to a charity ball.
He's on a boat.
With
boat. He'll be on a boat. Boat. Not sailing. Boat. Boat. Was that too loud too?
Yes.
Scott, I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
Oh, you would think we haven't done like 100 episodes of the show at this point. You would have gotten it.
No.
The point is she's going with Anna, and
But he's going with Anna and not with Summer. So Summer has to get
Summer's
somebody.
credit, she goes with her. So Summer's not great. Summer's not perfect here. I'm not saying Summer's good one, Anna's bad one. They both got their issues, but Summer decides, well, I'm going too with this guy.
Chip.
And it's just this random guy that we've never seen before named Chip. Chip is like the perfect random dude that you don't care about name in shows. I think I see that a lot. Whenever it's like a random stupid dude that we just want to like bring in for this thing, I feel like they're named Chip.
Chip. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Well, Sandy gets home from the office and he is pissed.
Oh man, he's
That she told
pissed.
Caleb about the whole Rachel Sandy thing.
Yeah.
He is so mad. And
Yeah.
rightly so. He should be mad about that.
Yeah. I'm totally on his team here.
I'm on Team Sandy too.
Basically,
We're both on Team Sandy.
he's basically like, you can't just complain to your father about everything that's going on with us. Like, this is our troubles. You need to come to me. You can't just talk to your dad about our stuff. And I agree with that. I agree. I was thinking about this as we were watching it. Like, if you and I are having issues, if you and I are having problems, I need to talk to you about those problems. I am not going to go to my parents and talk to my parents about our marriage problems.
You know who else you shouldn't talk to about our problems?
Who?
These people.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to go on this podcast and talk to like Matt about my marriage problems.
Yeah, you
Absolutely
better not.
That's ridiculous. And her response here is actually mean. Her response here, well, you're never here. Who am I going to talk to if I don't talk to my dad? Seth? Which is, ouch. This is mean to Seth.
This is where Kirsten needs to realize maybe she should get some friends.
Yeah. Well, but even so, like, I don't know. I mean, I know people are different. I learned a long time ago that complaining to your friends and your family about relationship stuff is not the best tact. I don't think it's a good idea. I honestly don't. I think if you have that kind of relationship with your friends and family, fine. I think Caleb, as a person who does not like Sandy already, is a specifically bad person to go to this kind of stuff with. But I'm just not the type of person. I would go to you, and I don't like the idea that, oh, well, you're never here, I can't talk to you about this. It's like, well, you've been kind of avoiding talking about it. Like you like they've been around each other, and they're just avoiding really bringing the issue to the forefront. And I'm not all here to defend Sandy, though, because in this conversation, he says, well, maybe you can call up Jimmy Cooper and talk to him about it. Which
burn.
Ooh.
He doesn't know this. She smooched him.
Yeah, he doesn't even know about that. But
yeah.
And I think we're going to see that her concerns with Rachel are founded. I think that's fair to say.
I think that's true. Well, Ryan and Sandy have been avoiding the elephant in the room conversation.
Oh, yeah. The whole time, Sandy keeps saying he needs to talk to Ryan about having sex
in the pool house.
The house. Like, what are the rules around that with women in your pool house late at night in bed? And he's kind of just avoiding doing it. But they do have like a heart-to-heart talk about Sandy's basically like he's having issues with his in-laws. Ryan's having issues with his
Julie Cooper. Not in-law, maybe in-law one day.
Yeah, sure.
But maybe they should go on one date before they're called in-laws.
But they have this father-son bonding moment, and I think it's great. But it reminds me that like every time we need a father-son bonding moment in this show, it is almost universally Ryan and Sandy. And we
does that make you sad for
barely
Seth?
Ever have Seth ones. I think they've done like a Seth-Sandy bonding moment like one time. And I think it was like in the model home episode where he's driving with him, right? I think that's it.
Well, Sandy and Ryan are supposed to be more similar characters.
Sure, but
their
like
history.
he's your son. He's your son.
But
I want more.
I mean, Kirsten can't talk to Seth. Sandy can't talk to Seth.
Nobody can talk to Seth.
Nobody can talk to Seth. Anna can talk to Seth.
But not about Summer. Not allowed to anymore.
No more Summer talk.
So Ryan is putting out the trash, and what does he see? But Caleb Nickel roll up to whose house? There's perfect. That's perfect. Julie Cooper's house. Caleb is there, and they're sucking face. Dun. We joke, but if you're watching along with the show, go back to the scene and listen to the music at this part. It is the most dramatic music ever. It is as if someone was just shot when we see these two make out, which I think we kind of expected. Like, I thought that was inevitable, but...
well, you kind of knew.
So basically,
it's now revealed. Ryan has a secret.
Ryan has a secret again.
Ryan knows.
Is he going to tell her? I don't know.
Of course he's going to tell her because that's what a boyfriend does. Boyfriends tell girlfriends anything that they were told.
So Anna and Marissa show up at the Cohen's house to go to the yacht party. Anna has like the world's longest earrings on.
Yes. So when you have a short haircut and your neck is visible, it is quite common in order to have very long, dangly earrings in order to accentuate the line of your neck.
Interesting.
Yes, which is what Anna is doing. And they are very long. They are commented on later about how long the earrings are.
She takes them off as soon as she gets to the yacht party.
Well, that's because Seth made a comment about them.
And her hair looks great, by the way. I felt a little bad. I went back and listened to myself, and I felt like I was very critical of this woman's hair.
You know, some people get good haircuts, and some people get bad ones.
But she says, this is your crib, huh? This is where the magic happens. And we get our second Magic the Gathering joke of the episode, where he says, if you're referring to the card game, sadly, yes.
Yes.
I think I identify with this kind of self-deprecating nerd humor where like you're a nerd, you're acknowledging that you're a nerd, but you kind of joke about it because you're insecure about yourself and it makes you feel a little bit cooler about it. It's like, yeah, I do all those nerdy stuff, but I'm like the cool guy who's aware how nerdy they are. I relate heavily to that because that was a defense mechanism that I employed as well.
Good to know. So Anna has to go pee.
Anna and
Marissa both have to go pee.
And Kirsten shows up and said, "We need to get going." Okay, we just got to wait for the girls. They're peeing. I don't know why I pulled this out. I just thought it was really funny when Kirsten's just like, "Seth, don't say pee." I don't know why that's so funny to me.
I don't know why you thought it was so funny either.
It's so funny to me.
Seth said the word pee, referring to women going to the bathroom, because both men and women do that. Mm-hmm. They pee and they poop.
Seth, don't say pee. So Sandy and Rachel are back at the office working on a Saturday. So they're in super cash outfit. And Rachel's version of super cash is a very short crop top shirt that rides up very high when she lifts her hands above her head. And the camera zooms in on that exposed belly of hers. And so does Sandy Cohen zooming in on that exposed belly.
It's just a trait of the 2000s too. It was all about the midriff.
All about the midriff.
All
those
about
2000s.
the midriff.
Not anymore though. Fuck the midriff. Dead to me.
So glad. You know, I was very hesitant about the mom jean high rise. It's quite wonderful. It's a nice look on everyone.
The point is we're heading towards trouble because Sandy is noticing that midriff, and that's not good. But we cut over to the yacht party. We're on the yacht now, still on the dock, which will remain the entire night. And we get this really great photo opportunity for the Cooper family. Mm-hmm. And the Cooper family is all together for this photo. And Julie Cooper is very much like, yeah, the whole family back together again. And you're immediately like, we know a secret, Julie Cooper. And I like how Julie subtly is like trying to like make Ryan feel more comfortable. I think Caitlin doesn't like
Shailene. She
does not like Ryan. Don't worry, Ryan is very trustworthy, and she gives him the Julie Cooper stare, which is supposed to hint at don't tell, don't you dare. I know you know my secret. Don't tell anyone, Ryan.
It's true. Don't say a thing.
And then Caleb meets his grandson and says, "There he is, built like a pipe cleaner, but looking sharp." Everyone's mean to Seth in this episode.
Everyone gives Seth such a hard time.
I feel so bad for him. He's like, "Thanks, you too. I don't know what that means." Poor Seth.
That's why you have Anna there to help make you feel better.
Yeah, Anna does stick up for Seth a little bit there.
Yeah.
She says, "Seth told me you were very scary, but I don't think you're that scary." And then
Anna.
Summer shows up with Chip, who is an idiot.
But she's looking beautiful.
Damn.
I mean, her dress in this episode at this party, I would love that.
Black,
I like polka dot
black,
dresses.
Sleeveless,
Strapless.
polka dot dress, looking good.
Yeah.
Looking good.
Black with white polka dots. It's a classic color combination. It's a wonderful pattern. The style looked excellent on her. I loved her hair.
Yeah.
That's, you know, like when you wear your hair up when you have a strapless dress
Word.
that makes your collarbone look really nice. So it was a wonderful choice.
Wonderful choice. Great choice.
Yes.
And of course, Summer is clearly super jealous of Seth and Anna. And Marissa, being the good friend she is, immediately calls her out on it and says, "You like Seth Cohen." And what I love about Summer here is she gets immediately mad and goes, "Ew, no, gross." But she can't help but smile a little bit.
Because she knows.
We'll play off of that beat later. But it's this really wonderful moment. And she goes, "Oh, well, that's too bad because Seth Cohen likes you." And then Marissa runs away. This is tragic to me because in this opening part of the scene, Marissa Cooper is the happiest we've ever seen her on this show.
Is very happy.
Like even at the very beginning of the show, before all this shit went down, she was not this happy. And like she sees this as a way forward. Her parents are going to get back together. Her family's going to get back together. Her dad's going to find a job, and everything's going to be fine. And she's so happy about it.
But when you're in the OC, you can't be happy for longer than 10 minutes.
Especially if your name is Marissa Cooper.
That's true. And Ryan, despite seeing how happy and hopeful she is, he has to be real.
Yeah.
He's got to tell her what's the matter.
Because she's building up false expectations about how this whole thing's going to go down. He knows better. So he's got to come clean with her.
Yep.
And it breaks her heart. And I'm sad. I'm sad for poor Coop.
Are you sad for Sandy?
I'm kind of mad.
You're mad? You're not sad?
Yeah, so we cut back to the office. It's now late at night. Sandy has still not left the office to go to the yacht party he's supposed to be at. We got more low-cut shirt shenanigans, or I guess high-cut. I don't know, crop top.
I mean, I feel like it had some low cut and high cut action.
She's bending over.
Both directions.
She's bending over to look at papers, and the camera is very conscious of the spatial difference between the top of her jeans and the bottom of her shirt, where you can kind of see her entire back and a little bit of her ass crack. A little bit.
Really?
Yeah, there was a little ass crack in there.
But I'll take your word on it.
So he immediately sees that, and then they're both on the floor with the papers.
She's like crawling over
and then,
to him.
she's like, she starts crawling. It's like, we spend every day together, and we're talking on the phone. And she crawls, like saunters right in his face to kiss him.
And
my boy,
yes,
my boy says, I got a boat to catch. Boom, Captain America, Sandy.
I know. This is why you like him so much.
He does the right thing and gets the shit out of there.
And you know what? I want you to take advice from Sandy in this.
What's that?
Always do the right thing, Scott.
Sure. However, this would be the moment where you go to your wife and you say, hey, I want to be completely honest with you. I know you were concerned about our behavior. She came on to me tonight. You were right. I'm leaving this case. I'm getting off this case. I'm not going to work, or at least I'm not going to work unsupervised in close quarters with her anymore because she obviously is into me and I don't want to put myself in that position.
Which would then be a really good place for Kirsten to say, you know, and I'm so glad that you came clean and I just want to come clean too.
Yep.
And I kissed Jimmy Cooper.
Doesn't do it.
And then Sandy would get upset because I told you this as soon as it didn't even happen, but almost did. And you didn't tell me after it did happen.
Doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
But
anyway.
someone does come clean, Scott.
Well, yeah. Seth,
two people come
We
clean.
cut back to Seth and Anna, and they're sitting there cynically making fun of all the rich people. It's actually a really cute scene. I like these characters together, and this is why I'm kind of torn, because I'm going to be Seth and Summer, ride or die. It's just what I want. It's what I want. It's where I want the show to go. It's what I want the show to do. It's what I want. But I liked this little glimpse of Seth and Anna together. I really did.
I mean,
like
they could be friends. They don't have to be romantically involved.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if that's going to be in the cards when she is very clearly into him in the way that she is. We'll see. Because he come on to her, or she does come on to him, and like his father before him, he pulls away and gets out of there. Mm-hmm. And I think this is the point where it's time to come clean, right? Like we talked about with Sandy. Seth now knows that Anna is into him, right?
She's kissed him once and tried to kiss him again.
Yeah, she just tried to kiss him. They're on a date as friends, and she just tried to move in to kiss him. He now knows that she's into him. Now is the time to be clear. Now is the time to say, hey, I'm sorry. If you don't feel that way, to say, hey, I'm sorry, I don't feel about you that way. I really like hanging out with you. I really want to be your friend, but I don't feel that way.
I mean, that would be the good thing to do, but
probably not going to do it.
Seth's not really woman-wise.
Probably not going to do it.
Yeah.
Especially when what happens next?
Summer walks up to Seth, pulls him away from the other people, and then just plants one right on him. She smooches him on the mouth, Scott.
On the mouth?
On the mouth. They're locking lips.
And she says, oh no, I like Seth Cohen. And our boy Seth is like, wait,
what just happened?
Huh?
What did you say? What does that mean? What?
If you tell anyone what you heard here, I'll kill you. And then she storms off, leaving Seth to be the most confused boy in the entire world.
But excited still at the same time.
I'm sure he's excited, but I would not know how to react to this. If a girl I was really into came up to me, kissed me, talked to herself about how she liked me, and then threatened to kill me if I told anyone and left, I'd be like, yay?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then you'd want to go and talk to her afterwards and figure out what happened, but then she doesn't want to talk to you because, yeah. It's just awful.
Yeah. What's next? We can't do that every time she's in a scene. We have to do that when she lukes her way into the scene. This is just a scene that opens on her. Julie's announcing the raffle winners and invites Marissa up to help announce the raffle winners. And guess what?
Girl, you best know your daughter better than that.
Mistake. Marissa drops the bomb in public
Mic drop.
that she knows about Julie and Caleb, and it is amazing.
Yes, because the only person that deserves the romantic getaway for two is just the most wonderful new couple, Caleb and Julie. It was brilliant.
It was brilliant. She storms away. Everyone's shocked. Jimmy is like, "I'm done with you. You're Caleb Nichols' problem now."
Yeah.
Even her daughter,
Sense of relief.
Even her daughter, Caitlin, is upset. And you know the only worst person in the room that's happy right then? Ryan. Because Ryan is so proud of his girl that she stood up to her mom and told her off.
Yeah. And then Sandy and Kirsten win the romantic getaway. And they need it.
They do need it.
They need to get away and be romantic with each other.
And maybe have a conversation about...
Yes, a crucial conversation. That would be important too.
But Marissa and Julie then confront each other. And here's where I want to defend Julie. Okay? And I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because I think Julie is absolutely using Jimmy and her family as a way to get status and be accepted back in the community again. I absolutely agree with that. But I do genuinely think what Julie wants is her family back. She wants her daughter to come home with her. I do. I think and
I don't believe you. I mean, I believe you think that. I don't believe Julie.
I think that Marissa made an assumption that this whole thing would mean that her parents were going to get back together again. And Julie let her make that assumption, but she never explicitly said that. She never explicitly said that the plan here was for the four of us to become a family again. She wants her kids back. She wants her kids living together. She wants the four of them to have a relationship with each other. I don't think she ever specifically told her daughter, your father and I are getting back together. I think that was a Marissa, child of divorce wish where like every child wants their parents to get back together, even if it would be a really bad idea for their parents to get back together. They just want it because of course you want your family back together. That's the only thing I'm saying. I'm not saying what she did was right. I'm not saying hiding the relationship was right, but that's all I'll say.
I think it's a photo op. And I think it was they were humiliated together, so she needs to come together and show that she's not humiliated by these people and she's stronger than these people, and so I have to bring everyone together. And it wasn't anything about her wanting them to all be together as a family.
You don't
I
think she
was
generally wants her daughter around? She generally wants to be a mother to her daughter?
No.
Wow. That's harsh. I mean, I don't think she makes the good decisions, but I think she wants the best for her daughter and wants her daughter in her life.
No.
Wow. Okay. Well, we'll see.
Okay. Seth hides the summer kiss from Anna.
Yay. I mean, to be fair, Anna said, "Don't tell me anything about Summer."
He specifically said, Summer said, "Don't tell anybody."
Yeah.
So Seth's just keeping his promises to both ladies.
And then Kirsten,
Seth and his women.
Yeah. Kirsten yells at her father about...
Good for her.
Yeah, because she's like, I told all my relationship stuff to you, and you kept all your stuff from me. She says, outside of the office, from now on, we have nothing to say to each other. Boom. That's good.
Mic drop Kirsten.
One part of the destroy the Sandy-Kirsten marriage, murdered. Part number 2, stab Rachel in the neck.
Not done yet.
Next week.
Next, Sandy shows up, but everyone's leaving.
But I wore a jacket.
He tried.
My boy.
So Seth and Sandy, or not Seth, Seth and Kirsten are...
Oh, no, sorry. I wrote Seth. Sandy and Kirsten reconcile.
Kirsten. Yeah. So what are you doing now?
You.
Oh, Kirsten.
Yeah, they've been like getting close to having sex the entire show. And finally, it seems like it's going to happen. This married couple. Good for you guys. Still hiding a lot of stuff from each other, but good for you guys.
And we come full circle, Scott.
We do.
Full circle. Back to Ryan and Marissa in bed together.
Yep.
This time she's wearing jeans and a top after she just wore her nice, pretty dress.
Yeah, I don't understand why
everyone
they changed.
changes to after party clothes.
Whatever. This time Marissa doesn't leave. And they say, we're not going to have sex.
Right, that's what they say.
We're just going to sleep together. And they say something rather interesting, Elise.
I've never slept with someone before.
To which
Like,
Ryan
just
replies.
slept.
To which Ryan replies, "Yeah, me neither." And it seems like our characters
Have forgotten.
have forgotten when they went to Tijuana 2
They've
weeks
already
ago
slept together in the same bed.
and slept in the
Just
same bed.
Slept.
Yeah, that just happened like a couple weeks ago.
And woke up in nice cuddles.
Yeah.
It was lovely for them. I do believe.
Hey, guys.
Maybe not that great.
Hey guys, did you forget that you did that? Because you did
I
that.
think they did.
But anyway, the episode ends on them getting very hot and heavy. I think the thing Ryan says is, "I thought you wanted to sleep," and they don't. So
She didn't want to.
I feel like the lesson here is Sandy Cohen, who put off establishing boundaries and rules in his house with Ryan for several days, that was a mistake.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan is just doing whatever the heck he wants
Slumber
because we haven't had the
party.
conversation yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
So we'll pick up with that
weird
maybe.
is wrong. It's not weird. I'm glad these two are getting together. I do think they need to parent their guardian and establish these boundaries and rules and have these conversations about when you're allowed to have women in the house and when you're
Yeah.
not.
I think that's a good idea.
They
It's
are
a good call.
They are still children.
They are. Children
So-
make mistakes.
Yeah. So that is the episode, Elise.
Yeah. You want to know what was so 2000s in this episode,
Not
Scott?
a lot. What was so 2000s?
So first of all, we have the emergence of the crossbody messengers bag, which, messenger bags, crossbody, definitely
Those are
still
out.
around.
They're out though.
But they were,
The backpack is in.
Scott, they were huge.
I know.
In the 2000s.
You know how I know? Because I
'Cause
was
you
in
had
college
one.
in 2000 and I bought a messenger bag because you know what? I don't know if it was because I watched Seth with the messenger bag, but let's just pretend and say
It might have been.
It's like, that looks cool.
I mean, they were huge. It was a big deal.
Think of how many magic cards I could fit in this messenger bag.
Yeah. A whole dick.
That's that's great callback humor. What else? What else we got?
You maybe did or did not catch the clear MacBook, or not MacBook, the clear
iMac.
Mac speakers in the background. Man, those things.
I remember those. I
iconic.
didn't see it in the episode.
Oh, it was behind Caleb in his office.
In his office?
Yeah, in his office.
Damn,
Caleb has them speakers.
Getting the good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, what's number 3?
Midriff.
Just
Midriff.
Just bellies?
Everybody's midriff.
All right.
Midriff this, midriff that.
I am going to
Midriff.
choose the messenger bag as my vote.
Good, that's
as
my
the
vote too.
most 2000s thing in this episode because
You fell victim to that style.
I mean, I still have one. I just don't
You
wear
do.
crossbody. I like messenger bags.
I know.
I'm not going to feel bad about this. I would rather carry a messenger. Maybe I should
I feel like you might look better with a messenger bag than a backpack. I don't know.
Why? Why do you
I
say
don't know,
that?
I'm
What's
gonna
wrong
have
with
to
me?
see
What is
it.
wrong with
Nothing's
backpacks and
wrong
me?
with you. Nothing's wrong. It's
Should I one strap or two strap? What do they do?
Oh, two strap is
do
cool.
the kids these days two strap?
Two strap is cool.
That was a joke in 21 Jump Street, but an accurate one because I do think when I was a kid in high
It
school,
was a one strap.
You one strap. You don't two strap. When I was
No.
going to high school, now you better two strap.
You better
because you got that expensive laptop in there, probably.
Yeah.
All right, Elise, it is time for relationship status.
Okay, Scott, for relationship status, we first have Coop and Ryan this week. Scott, last week, Coop and Ryan rated an 8 out of 10. It's hard to imagine a couple in better shape than Coop and Ryan right now. They're having sex,
Elise?
boyfriend and girlfriend. Everything seems great, right? 10 out of 10.
Could you slow down a little bit? Just
No.
a little bit. I can't understand.
We
you.
got to move as
I
fast
can't
as Ryan and
understand
Marissa are, Scott. So, how are Seth and Summer this week?
Last week we gave him an 8 out of 10. This week, she likes Seth Cohen. 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Okay, now we're going to take it to Seth and Anna, Seth's other woman. The last week that she had a 4 out of 10. This week, Scott, she likes Seth Cohen. 3 out of 10, though.
Yeah, well, he doesn't like her back.
No.
All right,
How are
last
Sandy
week,
and Kirsten?
Sandy and Kirsten, last week we gave them a 5 out of 10, and it looks like they're going to take that romantic trip together, which
That's
should
a
help.
good call for them.
Kirsten has smartly recognized that Caleb is trying to split them up, but what about Rachel?
I don't know, Scott. What about Rachel?
I don't know, Elise. Let's leave them for now at a 5 out of 10.
Okay, they're not progressing. They're not regressing. They are just staying as a constant.
They're just gressing.
Just gressing. Scott, we have an introduction of a new couple this week. Scott, I'd like to introduce you in the world to Julie Cooper and Caleb Nickel. New couple alert. This is my favorite part about
hottest
this.
new couple in
Yes,
Newport.
is that People tell Caleb Nickel about 5 times how much help he's going to need dating Julie. We really have no idea what to think of this relationship yet, so let's set it right in the middle at a 5 out of 10.
All right, that seems fair to me, and we'll see what happens.
Indeed. Scott, what do you predict for next week?
I don't know what happens next week.
It's homecoming.
It is. I mean, the episode name is called The Homecoming. I'm assuming it is going to be the homecoming dance, and I think my boy Seth is gonna. Here's my prediction.
Okay.
Seth and Summer in public.
Okay.
They're gonna dance at homecoming.
If it's the homecoming, who else is coming home?
Could be Ryan's mom's gonna pop back into the picture.
Okay.
Who else are characters we know about that are not around? It could be Kirsten's sister is going to pop back into the picture.
Maybe she's coming home.
I don't know. That's all I got for now. But we will talk about that next week on episode number 11, Homecoming.
All right. That's all we have time for this week. If you like this podcast, you can check out all of our other shows that we do over at doofmedia.com, like the Doof Variety Show on Thursday, weekly rotations of things that they like to talk about.
Friday.
Oh, you recorded Thursday, it's released Friday.
Yeah.
What else we got? Do the Right Thing.
Do the right
Write
thing.
some short stories with words that are random every week.
We
It's
talked
like the
about
Fruit Bowl.
we talked about Media MD.
Yeah.
The Dairy
Media
Girls
MD.
episode. You should listen to the Dairy Girls episode
All
after
these
you watch
things.
Dairy Girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, tons of great content. Also, if you want to support those shows, this show, and our entire media conglomerate, you can do so at our Patreon account. That's patreon.com/doofmedia. You can donate $1 a month or whatever else you can afford, and that goes straight back into our shows, helps pay for the lights, the electricity, the microphones,
All the
storage
things.
space,
It's
everything.
all the things.
Everything.
Yep.
And it helps us keep growing, helps us keep making new shows like the one I'm working on right
Indeed.
now. And we really appreciate those of you guys that donate to us.
And if you happen to be listening via Apple Podcasts, why don't you just hop right on over there and drop us a rating and review. We love to get those ratings and definitely read those reviews, but we can't read them unless you write them, guys. So how about this week you think about what 3 words are released for Do the Right Thing and see if you can get that into your review for our podcast. What are those 3 words, Scott? Do you know?
Well, there are 4 words.
Oh, yes. You release 4, but you only have to use 3.
Correct. And next
so what are
week's,
they?
I don't remember. Next week's is a Halloween special episode. So they're all Halloween words. I think Halloween's one of them. I think spooky is one of them. I think candy is one of them. So there you go.
So there's 3 words. And if you need one other word, just think of a word that has to do with a holiday and it'll be fine.
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin. Are those the 4?
Well,
Oh, no, you just gave them. Halloween, candy, pumpkin, and
spooky.
spooky.
I don't know if those are actually them. I'm guessing. Don't
Scott,
It's not my show.
I rely on you for the facts.
Goodbye.